Today is day one of trying to be a happy human again. And honestly, it feels weird to even say that out loud. Like, being happy shouldn't feel like a project, right? But here I am, calling it day one, like some kind of experiment. I deleted all my social media, which feels like cutting off a limb and also like taking a deep breath for the first time in years. I bought a book, an actual book, to keep my hands busy when I want to scroll. I did the laundry, all of it, which feels like winning a war that never ends. And for the first time in forever, I put on makeup. Not for a picture, not for anyone else, just to look in the mirror and remind myself I still exist underneath the tired. I even ate lunch today, before picking my daughter up from school. That sounds so small, but it isn't. It was me saying, "You matter too. You deserve to not feel like shit. You actually don't have to get all of your chores done before caring for yourself. Your basic needs aren't your prize for getting things done." While she was at school, I went for a walk. Nothing epic, just putting one foot in front of the other, reminding my body what movement feels like. And after school, we went to the park. I watched her play. I actually watched, without a screen in my face, and I held my son close and breathed him in. For those moments, I felt present. And yet, underneath it all, there's still this hum of impending doom, like the world's on fire somewhere and I'm not looking. And without a set routine, I feel flustered, like I'm floating in space trying to grab onto something solid. But here's the thing, I did today. And tomorrow, I'm going to make a schedule, a real one, and I'm going to follow it. Maybe happiness isn't about some big dramatic change. Maybe it's just this, stacking little choices on top of each other, until one day I look around and realize I built a life I actually like living. Today is day one, tomorrow will be day two, and I think maybe I'm on my way. Today I want to talk about the internet and why I decided to take a big break from social media. Taking it back to high school, the internet was fun, really fun. I'm not sure if it's still as cool for kids nowadays, but I feel like it doesn't compare to the MySpace and early Facebook days, before Instagram and TikTok. It wasn't just a tool or a habit or this endless cycle of doom scrolling, it was a doorway. Back then, the internet connected you to people you would never normally meet. Different towns, different schools, sometimes even different countries. And somehow those people didn't feel like strangers, they felt like friends. Real friends, the kind who knew your name, not just your username. You knew theirs too. You talked, you shared music, inside jokes, pieces of your lives. It was like having modern pen pals, but better, faster, electric. Instead of waiting weeks for a letter, you'd get a reply in seconds. You didn't just write words, you built little worlds together. It was human connection, just stretched out across cables and screens. We had Skype and Omegle. As controversial as Omegle was, it was at least 50% staring face to face with and speaking with another human being. I suppose that percentage would change depending on the time of day or night, though. We had friends in other states who we talked to all the time. Sometimes we'd make lifelong friends from chat rooms. But now the internet feels like the opposite of that. Now it doesn't bring people closer. It takes the people closest to you and it pushes them farther away. Think about it. When's the last time you actually called your best friend? When's the last time you sat across from them, no distractions, and just talked? Not texted, not sent a meme, not liked their story, but really talked. Because these days it feels like we catch up by scrolling through each other's feeds. I know what someone ate for breakfast, but I don't know how they're holding up. I'm making an effort to reach out to my friends more. It's a little harder to get together in person, but that's one of my main focuses on this pursuit to happiness. I want to be with my people. The adults yearn for community. Back to the topic. The more we know online, the less we know in real life. We don't discover people through their little quirks anymore, the way they tell a story with their hands, or how they hum when they're nervous, or the way they always laugh at the wrong part of the joke. We don't learn their rhythms, their pauses, their mannerisms. We just see their highlight reel. And even worse, we learn about each other in the wrong order. We know someone's politics before we know their sense of humor. We know their stance on culture wars before we know their favorite movie. Before we know what makes them cry or what kind of person they are when nobody's watching, we stopped understanding each other. We stopped even trying to understand each other. It's like we've stopped meeting people and started judging them by followers, by likes, by numbers on a screen. When did we start valuing someone's worth by how many hearts they get on a photo instead of the actual heart inside their chest? When did a follower count become more impressive than work ethic? When did likes weigh more than kindness? And then there's nostalgia, that ache in the gut we all carry now. Why does nostalgia hit so hard these days? Why do we cling to it? Because nostalgia takes us back to connection, to the moments before every friendship was a performance, before every joke was a post, before every thought had to be branded, before our night out itinerary included taking pics for the gram. Even though it's such a rare and special occasion, nostalgia takes us back to when we could sit in a room with someone and be with them, not just prove we were with them by posting about it later. We used to have stories to tell our friends, our real friends, so we would call them on the phone or hold it in our mind until we seen them. We got their reactions in real time. We saw the faces they made and their reactions to the funny parts. Humans are starving for connection. That's why we hoard old photos, old songs, old inside jokes like treasure. Not because the past was perfect, but because it was real. The internet showed us connection at its best. It gave us this miracle, a chance to find community, to build friendships across borders, to feel less alone in the world. It showed us how deeply humans long for each other, and then, slowly, it trained us out of it. It gave us filters instead of faces, timelines instead of time together, profiles instead of people, and yet, somewhere inside, we still yearn for that closeness, for the small details, for the real thing, and maybe that's why we keep looking back, because we hope that in remembering, we might find our way forward. I'm seeing my friends tomorrow. It's been the first time in a while. I'm going to put my phone away. I'm going to laugh with them. I'm going to catch them up on my stories. I'm going to listen to their actual voices. I'm going to force hug my best friend who secretly loves affection but has a masculine facade. I'm not going to mention TikTok, maybe with the exception of referencing a sound bit, but I can't wait. I need this. I'll tell you about it tomorrow.